Good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, Cheryl.
Right, can you tell me if Mr. Livingston is on as well?
He's not.
He's not, okay.
All right. Good morning. Miss Yaldo, is your client downtown or at the Onyx?
Judge, I'm so sorry, I'm not sure where he is.
All
I'm
right.
covering for Mr. Huffman.
Okay. Downtown or Annex? Who has Mr. Anthony Villa?
We do, Your Honor.
Which is
Annex
Jason Kurman.
Let me know, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Anthony Villa, cause number 2022-0C03011. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Adán Valdez on behalf of the state, ready to proceed.
Ana Yeldo appearing on behalf of Mr. Richard Huffman, here for Mr. Anthony Villa, also ready.
All right. We decided to hold the status hearing. Mr. Villa has been in jail for 300 days now. And I want to know what's going on his felonies and if there's any possibility of moving the misdemeanor.
Of course, Your Honor, I do have an update for Mr. Huffman. So Mr. Villa has 2 felony indictments and they're set for trial on the felonies, I believe on next Friday, February 17th of this year, 2023. The current offer is 2 years TDC and with a dismissal on, I believe, one of the felonies. Mr. Huffman is continuing to negotiate with the felony DA, and he said that he's hoping that he's able to work out a deal that involves dismissing the misdemeanor. And the misdemeanor criminal trespass is not related to any of the felonies. So I believe either pleas or the trial that's going to happen next Friday.
All right.
Judge,
Yes,
if I can add an element. So on my own behalf, I saw that was the rec on the felony. If he pleads to the lesser of the 2 indicted cause numbers, so he's got a possession of controlled substance and tampering is 1 cause number, and then the other is a robbery. The rec is for 2 TDC on the tampering and possession and dismiss the robbery. And to kind of sweeten the deal, what I offer to do is if he pleads on that or on either one, but I don't see why he'd plead on the robbery and not the tampering. I'll dismiss this charge.
Okay. So ask Mr. Huffman to please keep us posted as to what happens next week.
Of
And
course,
then
Your Honor.
we'll either sign the dismissal or set this for a plea.
Yes, Your Honor, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you. May I have Joe Ship, please?
When are Your Honor?
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm happy to stay on. I did contact Mr. Livingston about his case, but if he's not on, I am happy to cover if you'd like me to.
That would be up to Mr. Livingston. I don't know. I have a couple of other lawyers in the waiting room. We
Okay.
can do those and see if he logs on.
Sounds good, Your Honor. I'll mute myself. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Montoya. Court calls the case of State of Texas versus Joe Ship, cause number 2022-0C06240. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Adam Valdez, on behalf of the state, ready to proceed.
Roger Montoya on behalf of Joe Shep, Your Honor, ready to proceed.
You are Joe Ship? Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Are you a U.S. citizen, Mr. Ship? Charged with the offense of burglary of vehicle alleged to have occurred September 12th, 2022 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? The court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, sentence you to 30 days in jail plus court costs with credit for time served on everything. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
No motions.
All right, you may be excused, Mr. Montoya. Thank
Yes,
you.
Yes, yes, sir.
May I have Carlos Villegas, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Carlos Villegas. Cause numbers 2023-0C00829 and 2023-0C00618. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Adam Valdez, on behalf of the state, ready to proceed.
Attorney Eunice Reyes for the defendant, Your Honor. And we are ready to proceed, but I had asked the court if by chance prior to us continuing with our bond hearing, if I could get a quick breakout room with my client.
For what purpose?
Judge, I went to go visit him at the jail yesterday, last night, and he wanted me to confirm some information for him. Which I do need to confirm that information with, and then give him an update as to the contact.
Okay, please keep it as brief as possible.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he annex or?
Downtown.
Downtown? Okay, thank you.
Or I see him on my screen.
Yes.
Judge, you're inviting me to the breakout room. I don't think I'm invited.
No. I'm trying to. There they go.
I'll have to respectfully decline.
Thank you. There they are.
Judge, Mr. Dakota's office emailed that he's currently in a Zoom hearing in the 34th. As soon as he's done, he'll be on this one.
Okay.
Sorry. Stay on. The chip those, chip, no, you brought it. I'm already- Thank you. Thank you. Anybody?
Okay. Are you ready, Ms. Reyes? You're on mute.
Sorry, Your Honor. Yes, we're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, we're here before the court for Mr. Carlos Apodaca Villegas. He tells me that he is a U.S. citizen or resident, U.S. citizen, excuse me, born here and has lived in various different places in the United States, but was currently at the time here in El Paso, where his mother and his aunt and uncle and his cousins do reside, Judge. He does know that his family should still be living at the 8744 Claville Drive, El Paso, Texas, 79907. And he did give me a couple of phone numbers, Your Honor, to try to contact his mother and Miss Laura Reyes. I did reach out to them on multiple occasions to see if I can get confirmation that he is able to go back to that specific address or go back to one of their addresses. Unfortunately, neither one of them were able to get back with me. However, when I originally got appointed to the case, I did talk to his mother. So I do know that that is a good working number for his mother because my staff did in fact speak to her, Judge. And because I didn't have an address that I could give the court, I did call the Opportunity Center to see if they had available any spots for Mr. Villegas if he were to be released out on a PR bond. They do let me know that they do have availability for him to come in. I spoke to Anna, the program coordinator there, and this is the Opportunity Center located at the 1208 Myrtle Avenue, Your Honor. So if he were to be released, he'd be released. If I can't get a confirming address from his family members, he would be have the opportunity to go to the Opportunity Center. And from my understanding, he doesn't have any criminal history. I didn't see any criminal history, Judge, besides the 2 criminal trespasses. What I was also confirming with him was some details that he gave me about the alleged events, Judge, which is why we would need another pretrial in this particular matter, knowing it's a criminal trespass, but it's having to deal with what the actual notice was of what happened at the library. And it's something that I have to diligently look into, Judge, to see if it is in fact correct. And for that reason, I would ask the court, he doesn't have any funds, Judge. He has gout on his feet. I did, in fact, see him yesterday at the jail, and he is right now, he tells me his feet are inflamed from his gout. So his employment has not been very stable because of his gout on his feet. However, the reason why he had his family members is because on occasions they do help him financially with paying either his cell phone bill or helping him out to stay with them in their residences, Judge. So I would ask this court if we could give him a PR bond on both the criminal trespasses. In light of that, I do need to do my due diligence, Judge. I understand it's just a criminal trespass, but keeping him in jail by the time I can get confirmation of what I need to get confirmation for would be more than about a week to 2 weeks, Judge.
Who resides at the address on Alameda that he listed?
That one, he said that was, I believe, like a different type of shelter, because I had it as I had sent a letter originally, Judge, on that first one, on the first.
What's the address in question?
I don't have it written down on his application for court-appointed counsel. He
The-
listed an address on Alameda.
He did the 7011 Adamila Avenue, the Dimas Center.
Okay.
So that's the address that he had given, Judge.
Does your client have a mental health history?
Judge, he tells me no, but he also tells me that he has a son that is very ill in Juarez, and that he has 3 other children here in El Paso, Texas, that he's been trying to reach out to. So he tells me he has no mental health issues, but I don't know if the stressors in his life, Judge, are what's causing
Well, my PR bond order was very clear. He was not to go anywhere near that community center. And he wound up there again. This is not a revolving door, Mr. Villegas, where you keep getting out on a PR bond and coming back. Where did he go? There he is.
That's right here, sorry. Yeah, I'm here to look for my kids. That's basically what I'm here for.
Well, you're not gonna find them at that community center.
Well, that's why I was there, because they told me they were around there.
My order said you're not to go anywhere near there. So if you're not gonna follow the court's order, then I'm not gonna let you out on a PR bond.
Your Honor, I just want you to know that my first name as well is Carlos. My son's name is Carlos. He's the one that is at the hospital right now. There's a few Carloses that work at this place. And I'm assuming, let me explain to you that I'm assuming that somehow they misunderstanding going by the first name Carlos. And
No,
Judge, it might
sir.
be advisable to admonish the defendant.
I'm not the
on
one
statements
trying
against
to-
his interest.
Mr. Villegas, when I tell you not to go there, you're not supposed to go there for any reason. Zero, none.
What have I done? What is that I have done?
Pardon?
What is that I have done, Your Honor, if you,
You violated the court's order.
no, but I'm saying before that. Before the violating the order, trying to get in the computers to send an email. A few hours.
Court gave you some very specific instructions. There are other libraries that you can go to. There are other community centers that you can go to. You are not supposed to go to this one.
All right, well.
I am going to let you out on a PR bond one last time. You violate my order again, and you are going to wind up in jail and sit in jail until these cases are resolved. You are to report to PR bonds. You are not to go anywhere near the Valle Bajo Community Center. You're not to be committing new offenses, and you're not to be out after 9 or before 6 in the morning. Any violation of those orders and a warrant for your arrest will be issued immediately. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Right. You may be excused. May I have Mr. Sainz, Alberto Sainz? Good morning, Mr. Munoz.
Good morning, Judge. Good to see you.
Likewise. Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Alberto Sainz. Cause numbers 2023-0C00757, 2023-0C00758, 2023-0C00630, and 2023-0C00601.
Hey, Max Munoz for Mr.
Hold on.
Sign, Your Honor.
This proceeding
Just
is
a
being heard in
moment.
reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Adán Valdez, on behalf of the state, ready to proceed.
Max Munoz, on behalf of Mr. Sines, we're ready to proceed as well.
You are Alberto Sainz.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what do you have, Mr. Munoz?
Your Honor, first of all, I'm assigned to 2 cases. And I believe the two cases are the ones that are in 757 and 758, plus he also has 630 and 601. However, he's detained are not horrible.
All right,
Yeah.
who's on 630 and 601?
According to, I haven't received appointments. That's what I'm saying, Judge.
Okay, let me look those up, somebody, please.
Or vice versa. But anyway, Judge, Mr. Sines has been incarcerated for approximately, I believe, a month and a half or so.
8 days, actually.
8 days, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
And he was just recently released from TDC. And he at this time he can go back and live with his mother and father. They live in 370 Hurt Lane, Sunland Park, New Mexico. He is married to a lady by the name of Jenny Munoz in Anthony, New Mexico, I'm sorry. And way a long time ago, there was some family violence, so he is not allowed to visit with him or his babies. However, that should have been resolved some time ago. Both of them have gone to the district attorney in Doña Ana, but to get that waived so they can start living as a family again, but that has not been done. And he's afraid to go back with his wife, which he is allowed to if that restraining order was lifted. Now, there is some history behind this gentleman. So he was picked up close to Dewey's Bar, and that's about it, Judge. He's a U.S. citizen. There's not much to it that I know of. He did do 2 years. He was sentenced to 2 years, and he did the 2 years. So I don't see a parole hold, Judge.
Okay, now, Rihanna, who is on the other two cases?
Judge, I have Mr. Munoz been on all 4 of them.
Okay.
All right. So you are on all 4. Mr. Valdez, do you have anything?
Yes, Your Honor. So I would suspect that the recent TDC trip that was referenced was probably served in the El Paso County Jail, and he probably had the time served or at least paroled out from there and is done by then. Because I show 126 actual days in the county jail from in 2022, which would give rise to a little bit of concern about the quickness with which we are returning to recidivist conduct as an indication of future conduct of the same ilk. He just finished doing a good little stint in jail, gets out, and is back to doing similar conduct again. As far as the criminal history, I have a 2022 burglary of habitation, 2021 possession of controlled substance, 2020 possession of controlled substance and possession of marijuana, 2018 possession of controlled substance, and 2015 assault, family violence, and theft. So on the basis of the prior criminal conduct, the return to recidivism so soon after a significant stint in jail, I would suggest that that's an indication of future dangerousness would oppose the bond reduction.
Not to mention the fact that he was released on a PR bond and didn't report at all.
Well, I wasn't trying to bury the guy.
Aaron, you're doing a great job in burying my client, okay? And then the time that he did do, Your Honor, that was for the burglary of habitation. What happened in that case is that he went into the home, took a shower, ate some lunch, and when he was taking the shower, he was surprised by the owners of the home. He stayed there until the police got there. He didn't try to get away or anything.
Mr. Sines, what's the problem with reporting to PR bonds?
Ma'am, I actually don't have a phone and I wasn't out that long. And so I was rearrested like not like a day or 2 after. So I really didn't, that's what it was. It's not that I don't report. I know it looks bad, but I don't know. I don't have nothing to say. Like I know it's my fault. That's all I have to say. So.
All right. Are you working?
Yes,
Going
I had barely gotten a dishwasher job at a restaurant, but I don't know if it's I'm pretty sure I could still go and ask, but I doesn't look very good, you know, just going and working and then just going MIA and all of a sudden. So I'm not gonna tell you that I have it because I'm not sure, but I will go and like I do look for work. I work in anything, construction, labor, whatever. So that's not a problem. Like all I need is some stable, like somewhere stable to stay, and it'll be fine because they
And
moved.
that's going to be with your parents, correct?
Of course, yeah, of course. I was in the street before that, so that's why all this happened, you know, all this trouble, because I was literally out in the street, staying in the street outside and everything. So that's the only reason why all this happened. But if I don't know. I don't
Mr.
have
Sines, it looks to me like you have a substance abuse issue.
all my life, actually. But I've been looking for help, you know. I've gone to rehab, I've done what I could, but I've gone to the psychiatrist, but I never, the meds, they work for a while and then they don't work anymore, so then I end up not going, and that's part of my problem, that I don't finish what I start. That's the story of my life.
All right, Mr. Sines, I am going to release you on a PR bond. You are going to seek treatment through Emergence Health Network. You are going to reside with your parents.
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to commit any new offenses, and you are going to report to PR bonds, whether that be by phone, email, or showing up there in person.
Yes, ma'am.
Any violation of those conditions and a warrant for your arrest will be issued. Understood?
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
This will be the last time I let you out on a PR bond. Take my word for it.
That's fine.
One addition, Judge, we would ask that the address of the criminal trespass be added to the prohibited locations as a condition of PR bond.
That's fine. Do you have those addresses?
I do. It is Dewey's Pub, located at 812 North Piedras.
I have a question. Is there any way that I could get the detective's number for that case? Because I was actually a victim.
Talk to your lawyer,
Mr. Sines, stop right there, Mr. Sines, and one more thing. You do have to be in my office report to my office so I can give you the next setting. That's 1413 Wyoming, Mr. Sines.
Fine, but let me mind you, I was a victim of that.
Please, Mr. Sines, we will discuss that later. Okay, this is the PR bond.
Anything further?
Nothing further from the state.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, you may be excused.
Thank
May
you.
I have Mr. Swanger? Court calls a case of the state of Texas versus Taft Adrian Swanger, cause number 2022 C05616. Let me see if he shows up.
Judge, I did reach out to Mr. Livingston via text, via Teams, and via email, and I've not heard anything, but I'm more than happy to cover today. I don't have any information, though.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
All right. You say you don't have any information?
No, Judge,
And it's kind of pointless for you to cover, isn't it?
I think I might be able to help in this instance, Judge. So I did look into the felony. And it might be useful to relay this for Mr. Swanker's benefit, and I'm sure Ms. Yaldo can take the information and then further advise if necessary. So I looked into the felony case. So he has a felony cause number. It's an assault, family violence, impeding. Here's what the rec is. The rec is to reduce to a Class A assault, family violence, and then it'd be 365 days in the El Paso County Jail. He has booked in, I believe he's been in close to 6 months as is. So to make that a little bit more enviable, to maybe start moving things forward, I've also offered on my own, because the felony deal did not encompass the misdemeanor. If he accepts that deal and pleads on that felony being reduced to a misdemeanor, I will subsequently dismiss this misdemeanor, and that would get him out of jail.
All right, well, without Mr. Livingston, there's not much we can do on this today. So we will wait and see if he shows up.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll send him an email with the new offer as well.
Thank
And
you.
actually, I should correct one thing. Even if he does have close to 180, it still wouldn't be enough to be time served, since the sentence would be 365. So it wouldn't be out of jail, but there'd be light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, may I have Mr. Cadillo, please?
Thank you, Adan. Appreciate
Yes,
it. Judge, may I be excused? That's it for me today.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Dakotes. Waiting for your client here. All right, court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Hector Cadillo, cause numbers 2020-0C06973 and 2022-0C04585.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster. Guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have an announcement of counsel?
Adan Valdez on behalf of the state, ready to proceed.
Carl Dakotes for Hector Caudillo. Ready, Your Honor.
You are Hector Cadillo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Charged with the offense of theft alleged to have occurred August 17, 2020, and again September 30th, 2022 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, sentence you to 40 days plus court costs with credit for time served on everything. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing for me, Judge. Thanks very much for your time.
All right, thank you. Let me let Mr. Labrado in and
Judge, real quick,
next case. Yes, sir.
I see a note that there's something about Robert Ortega.
Yes,
Do you want me to just kind of wait?
yes.
Yep, I'll be here. Thanks, Judge.
Robert Ortega, please. Good morning, Mr. Labrado, Ms. Celerio.
Good morning, Judge,
Good morning, Judge.
Council, everybody.
Okay, court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Robert Ortega, cause numbers 2019-0C08460 and 2020-0C08895. On your motion to revoke, withdraw, Mr. Labrado. Let me do this. We'll pick up that motion first.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster. The guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Assistant County Attorney Giselle Silerio, ready to proceed.
Adan Valdez on behalf of the state for the criminal matter called.
Luis Labrado on the motion to withdraw on case 219-0C08460. Ready.
And
You want me to announce too on this motion to withdraw, Your Honor?
announce
Carl
ready on the cases, yes.
Carl DeCote's for Robert Ortega on the DWI. Thank you.
Okay, what do you have, Mr. Alvarado?
Well, if Mr. Dakota is gonna take over, we're finished.
He's not taking over, sir. You are appointed on this case.
Okay, very good. Well, Your Honor, I cannot give effective assistance of counsel to an unknown defendant. This person does not respond to requests to come see me to discuss his case. He does not respond to phone calls, letters, or emails at his given email address and his given street address and his given phone number. I've had this problem since before we had a prior motion to withdraw some months back in which the court said I could not withdraw, and I said, okay, fine, I'll continue with the case, and I have continued with the case, but from that date, which was, I don't know when it was, July or October, to the present, my unknown defendant still has not contacted me, come see me to discuss his case, has not responded to phone calls at his known number, US mail at his street address, and emails at the one he gave the county.
Okay.
At the court's direction, he was found at a location in El Paso County Detention Center. And at the court's direction, and in fulfillment of further duties, I went to see him. I have not progressed in a determination of the status of the case in terms of the complaint versus a trial or plea. But before, and I have not been able to discuss the defenses effectively and affirmatively, such as the contract price, the contractual terms that were possibly never complied by both sides, which would offer a defense, but have not been able to discuss it with it. Now, having talked to him in the jail, because he was there at the jail and the court informed me he was at the jail, he does want a clarification on the plea offer that says court costs and theft class. It doesn't have anything in days in jail. And so he wants clarification on that, whether it says days in jail, fine, or probation.
All right.
And I'm asking the court because he wants to know.
I haven't seen a plea agreement. I haven't.
Well, I guess I'm asking counsel then.
But this is not about a plea agreement. You can discuss that with counsel after this hearing and
Very
then go
well.
visit your client.
Very well.
Mr. Ortega, I admonished you at the last motion to withdraw to keep in constant communication with your attorney because this matter was set for trial last week. And he is not going to be able to prepare for trial if you don't respond to his messages. At this point, again, I'm going to deny your motion to withdraw because if he's not communicating with you, there's no assurance he's going to communicate with anybody else I appoint. So now let's take up the matter of the bond on the DWI.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I have a quick minute? Attorney, Mr. Labrado, has sent me letters. The only letters I received are the court dates that I have with him. Not asking me any questions. When I first went to go see him, I explained we're there. I explained the whole case to him. And he would call me and telling me that he was gonna withdraw. And I said, no, you're appointed. I believe I remember you said that he's got to represent me. And I just stuck with him. I have never hired Mr. DeCoates. I don't know who put that. Mr. DeCoates is my DWI attorney. Yes, but I've never not responded to any of his letters as far as talking about the case. I felt he already had the case going on, so he's not going in blind as we speak.
Well, he needs to be able to talk to you and communicate with you in order to prepare for trial. You also have your other two deceptive business practice cases where you are representing yourself on those matters. So now let's address the bond on the DWI, Mr. DeCoates.
Thanks. Judge, is this the DWI I've been on for a long time or a new one? Part of me thinks
the same one. It's a DWI second you've been on for a while.
Good. Okay. Did he pick up another one?
No, he just keeps violating his PR bonds by drinking, not blowing, not keeping his machine handy, etc. He has violated his PR bond 4 separate times.
Okay, I understand, Judge. And, you know, he probably has a problem. I'm not a doctor, but my guess is he probably has a problem. But I do want to let the court know that regarding his deceptive trade practice cases and the DWI, I believe it might be efficient if I was on everything and I just wrapped it all up with a package deal. That said, Your Honor has the power to do whatever she wants. And I think
Mr. Labrado is appointed on one case. He represents himself on 2 cases because he did not qualify for court-appointed counsel. And then he apparently hired you on the DWI.
Right. And of course, he has a balance, of course. You know.
Yeah. So let's go with the bond reduction, please.
Okay, real quick. And I know where you're coming from, Mr. Labrado. You know, he has some trouble. He's probably not doing well on his blower, and we're hoping for some forgiveness. Any relief would be much appreciated, Judge. I have an idea whether or not you're going to give him any relief, though. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Valdez, do you have anything?
Your Honor, the court's aware of the history of the non-compliance with the PR bond. I don't think I need to add anything more to that. He's shown you time and time again what it is that he's going to do if you let him out on a PR bond, and we can expect more of the same.
You are correct, Mr. Valdez. So at this time, the court will deny the bond reduction on the DWI second because the defendant has repeatedly violated the PR bond orders, continues to drink, and is a danger to this community. So, Mr. Labrado, you now know where to find your client. Mr. DeCoates, you can decide whether you want to plead your case or set it for trial. Please get back to the court and let us know what you want to do, and we will schedule your case, Mr. Labrado, for trial again.
Having been denied the right to withdraw, I'd like to add to the record. Mr. Ortega has given me his defense that he did all the work and he's not guilty. Okay, that's what he wants to go on. And I'm gonna tell him you shouldn't testify, but he wants to testify. I never that's what it's his case. He's the one that's going.
All right. I would suggest you get together with Ms. Silerio, work on a plea agreement, and then talk to your client. If there is nothing further, you may be excused. Thank you very much.
Judge,
thank you, jail. Thank you, downtown and annex.
Giselle, call me right now. Ahorita en 5 seconds, por favor. Gracias.
Everybody may be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. The coach, call me if you like.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.